Hey everybody, welcome to episode 14 of It's Just Bodybuilding with Dusty Hanshaw and myself, Ron Partlow. On today's show, we're going to have some fun. We have Antoine Valliant on It's Just Bodybuilding. Hey Dusty, are you ready for Antoine?
Yes, I want to get jamming here because I have no fucking idea where this is going, and I don't think he does either, which is what makes him so fun.
This is going to be a fun one, so let's give Antoine a call. We'll bring him on right now. I told him, I warned him that he's on as soon as he's on, you know?
I don't think that's going to change anything he was going to do when he entered this show.
You know how half our guests are like surprised we're already recording?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Hello?
I hear him. You got to turn your camera on, buddy.
Wait a minute.
We got to see that hairy chest.
Wait a minute.
In all its glory.
Hello?
Hey,
can you hear me?
What's up? Oh, yeah, I can hear you. I just can't see you.
Can't see me. Wait.
There we go.
Okay, this is a makeshift. Makeshift, because I'll show you what I did. Look, so, I'm at the gym here. This is my desk for today. There's my coach Dorian here. Regan, say hi for a sec. Just say hi. What's up?
Right. What's up, guys?
Yeah. All right.
Tell them we want to book every single one of them on the show.
Oh, they want to have you guys at some point. Yeah,
every single one of them.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
We have them all right now.
Yeah, it's a good time, man. It's really good to see you, Antoine, for a number of reasons. You and I go way, way, way back. I remember watching you kick ass as a junior. Like, what was that? 2 or 3 years in a row you won the junior nationals?
Well, in 2006 I won. I was 18.
Yeah.
And then I won the next year. I was 20 because of the
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember seeing you back then and thinking, holy shit, like we all better get out of the way because this guy's coming. Like this kid's gonna be ridiculous. And I tell people I tell people your story because I saw you do a number of things. First of all, you did the super heavies one year and you placed last.
Yes, people don't know that.
Yes,
I do now.
But I tell people that just to like motivate them. I'm like, Antoine got last in the supers one year out of like 30 guys. And then he wound up like 5 years later, beating me and winning his pro card.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
But you had an awesome story, man, and it was great to see you come up. And it's great to see you back. So how are you now? What's going on? You're out at Pure Muscle. You're living in the Muscle Mansion. Tell us what exactly is going on out there.
Well, right now, basically, I'm just in my trying to get at the peak of my off season, eating lots of food, and pretty much what I did here in Burlington is that I surrounded myself with the best people possible and the best gym possible.
Oh, thanks, Antoine.
What? And pretty much, you know how Kuwait is the goal, the big thing over there. We made our own Kuwait over here, and we're not the camel crew, we're the moose crew here.
The moose crew. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So what's going on? Where do you live? People see you living in the Muscle Mansion. Like, what is that? Is there is someone living below you? Someone living with you? What's going on?
Yeah. So the Muscle Mansion was Noah's idea, and for those people who don't know, Noah is Dor Hamilton's brother.
Noah's the brains behind the operation, isn't he?
Yeah. He's actually the guy who brought Dorian in the gym for the first time.
He's the best part. He's the best part-time bodybuilder in Canada.
Oh yeah, he is the best part-time bodybuilder for sure. He's in Spain right now. But yeah, so he had the idea of having the Muscle Mansion, which would be, I would be living there. At first, Frank was there, and now Quentin is there. And the goal for that is that we have 2 guest rooms, and then we can have Regan over every week if we want. We can have people coming over from internationally to just come stay and create content, train with us, and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what's your role? You're really promoting the gym huge. Your role just to
what's my
kick
role?
ass?
I mean, I guess my role is just to show everybody that with the gym. You mean like what's my role?
Yeah. Like you're promoting the shit out of it. You're really helping the guys out there. Is that part of the deal?
I guess it's part of the deal, but I didn't think about it. I just do it because it's like I'm just excited about it. It's like the best fucking thing a bodybuilder could have.
Yeah,
it's the best gym a bodybuilder could have. So,
and you're signed with Redcon now and everything, so it's really going.
Yeah. Everything's going well.
How's things with them? They're filming you a lot, promoting you a lot. You were down at their gym.
Yeah, they have a cool gym in Florida, and I think what Aaron's doing is he saw that what we were doing here with the camaraderie, with the people in the gym coming over and having like some kind of mecca. So I think he's trying to create a mecca of bodybuilding in Florida.
And do they have you traveling a lot?
They have me travel just normal, not too crazy. Not too crazy.
You're doing all the expos. Am I going to see at FIBO and all that?
I don't know if they weren't at FIBO yet, but Arnold, Olympia, and they have a few of them. Yeah. Usually I go to those. Yeah,
for sure, man. We talk about injuries a lot on the show, because of training hard and putting in all these years. And you just came back from a big one, and you pretty much documented it 100% on your social media. How is the bicep doing?
I measured this morning. It was 20.7 inches cold. And my left one is 21.2. So I'm like 0.5 difference.
That's most people all the time right there without an injury,
Yeah, I know that. I'm pretty crazy about it now because but the thing is that's funny is that now I every time I've noticed that most people's arms are different from one another.
Yep.
If you look at Cedric McMillan, his left arm has a bigger peak and is smaller than his right one. Mm-hmm. If you look at Lee Priest, because people don't know, but Lee Priest tore his bicep too back in the day. He has one bicep was really kind of shorter and more peaky, and the other one's more full. So all the bodybuilders have one arm smaller than the other, and a lot of them actually torn their bicep and just never talked about it.
Yeah. It's funny how people used to be able to keep stuff a secret.
Yeah,
there are no secrets now.
I've talked to a couple old school guys who'll talk about like a big injury they had, and I'm like, I don't remember that, and they're like, oh yeah, I didn't tell anybody, and the magazines didn't find out. You know,
back then
and
it was that easy.
It was just different, But that's part of you being so transparent. You're putting everything up, and I wanted to ask you, it was really inspiring to watch you. Come back from your addiction and your recovery. And, I watched that interview you did with Dave on RX, and, your transparency, I think would you say that your ability to talk about it was probably the key to making it happen?
The thing is that when you go to rehab and if you work some of the programs they have, is that part of the way to actually make yourself feel better is to share and talk about it and trying to help people with their own problems. It actually helps you. So it was already in me to talk about it. So when I did the interview for Dave, I already knew that doing that would help me and help others. So that's why I pretty much did it. But right from the start, my first rehab was in 2015, June 2015. I learned right away the part of the program was like I said, to talk about it, open about it. Because if you just keep everything inside and you're stubborn and you're afraid to feel what you got to feel when you share, you're going to stay in the same place. You're not going to be able to fix yourself,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. You must have received an amazing amount of feedback from some pretty, some people that really needed it.
Yeah, and that's true. And it gives me another purpose to stay clean and sober and to stay on the right path, is because by doing so, I can help people. And even to this day, people, they send me DMs and sometimes they're struggling And what I do is I ask them which city they're in, and I find meetings in their area and send it to them, and I send them to meetings. I send some of them to rehab, and some of the time they come 6 months later and they're like clean and stuff, and they say it's because I helped them out. So that gives me a lot of satisfaction doing that, and it just motivates me to just keep doing that, right?
Sure. You've met some of these people too, right? Like some of them have come up to you at expos and stuff, I imagine.
Yeah. So some guy actually came to see me on an expo, and he was struggling at the expo. He was actually on blow, and he was telling me stuff, and I said, you know what? If you can tomorrow, just try to not use just for the day. You can do one day, right? So just do one day and text me at the end of the day how it went. So I think he texted me 2 days later, and he said, hey, I didn't use since I saw you. Because the trick to really start not using is that you got to just start with the day. Like right. If you use all your power, you can like not eat a donut until you go to bed, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the next day when you wake up, you tell yourself the same thing. You don't see too far ahead. You just look today. Today, can I do this? And then you just do it. And you do it day by day. So that one guy, I helped him out in person. Yeah. So it happens. Yeah.
Man, that's amazing. Dusty wanted to ask you some stuff as well.
Well, I mean, the main things that I wanted to kind of push back was go a little further back and more into the, I didn't want to call it marketing, but being you, before the rest of us caught up and realized that we should be marketing and branding, you were one of the biggest names in bodybuilding outside of the stage years before. I mean, let's be honest, when you just hit I wouldn't even call it your peak, but in the last 2 years is when you've really started to shine on the professional stage. But prior to that, your following was enormous. Did you have like a vision of that, or was it just fun and you were just creating content and having a good time?
You know what's funny? Like, I started filming myself doing the flipping and stuff like that, acrobatics in my backyard. I was like 13, 14 years old.
Right.
So I was doing content before content was a thing.
Right.
And I became friends with my friend Jimufu in 2002. I was actually 14 years old. He had a website called trickstutorials.com, and we would communicate by email. So I sent him an email. I said, hey, I like your website. Blah, blah, blah. We started talking like that. We used to use the AIM chat system.
Yeah.
They would chat with that. And we became friends like that. So people, they think I'm friends with him for the past few years. But no, I've been friends with him since 2002. And we would make videos. And at first, I would make videos to share the things I was accomplishing with acrobatics to my friends on the message board. So I would edit the video, and I would upload it on a server. The file, the MPEG file on the server, and I would post the link in the message board. The people had to right-click, save target as to download the video on their computer and then watch it.
A lot of work.
So, yeah, a lot of work. So when YouTube came along, I was like, this is great. I don't have to do this. I just can upload and it's done. And that was 2006. My first video on YouTube was March 2006. I uploaded a few things, and I would just upload it for fun because I liked it. And at first, YouTube, you could use Metallica music. There was no copyright. There was no money involved.
Right.
So I started doing that just for fun because it was convenient to do the things that I wanted to do, which was share some of my passion, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing you on stage at the 2006 Nationals, and I already knew that you were the kid that did all the flips and kicks and stuff. So I knew that you were into that before I ever saw you compete. So that just says like you got out there quick.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I guess I was one of the first to use the YouTube, and before it was even a thing. I think me. There's another kid that was called, what's his name, from France, Lorenzo. Hey, what's the name of the kid from France? Lorenzo Becker. Yeah. What's happening? Yeah, so there was another kid called Lorenzo Becker. He was one of the first guys on YouTube around my age. Yeah, and Furious Pete started very early also as a competitive eater, but now he does the fitness stuff too. But there were a few guys at first that were doing the YouTube stuff, but it wasn't popular back then.
Yeah, it just shows, I guess. I think what's awesome about it is now I'm sure you do the same. I mean, I have guys all the time. They'll reach out, hey, how do I get sponsored? And I'll click on their page and, they got 126 followers and they post every 6 weeks. And I'm like, well, you got to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And granted, when you got started with it, it was for fun, but you were working. I mean, you had to produce it. You had to put those things in. And now there is money involved and the competition to get that money is higher. So it's a little baffling at how many people don't want to put in that work and get it done,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing is, if you want somebody who has the company to give you money, you got to give them a good reason. Yep. It has to be like, why me and not somebody else,
Yeah, no, I agree 1,000,000%. That's something we, I've had things I put out where guys will reach out and ask, and I tell them, okay, well, you're a marketing expense. So if you want $10,000 a month, are you going to be able to prove to them how you're going to make them $30,000 in additional revenue? Because if you can't do that, they don't care. It's not like Aaron just likes you. He's like, hey, having him also pays me, and I like him. Let's go ahead and do this.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, the thing is that right now, everybody is a social media person now. Yep. So the competition is even higher. So you got to really put yourself apart from everybody else somehow.
What do you think about, and I know you just mentioned it with the Muscle Mansion, when did you start doing collaboratives, where you're working with people and getting on their pages and all that stuff?
The funny thing is I never really pushed that. I know it's the way to increase your followers, but I never really did a trip to do a collab.
Right.
I mean, I do it with Regan because we're friends, and I'd rather do it organically.
Right.
Like my friend Jujimufu is really my friend. So if I go there, we're gonna do videos together. It's because I want to be there.
Right. Like you'd be there without the videos.
Exactly. Sometimes we wish we didn't make videos. We could just hang out, right? So I think collabs are good, but if somebody goes to LA and goes with one person, Bradley Martin, and then another person over there, and another person over there, like you're going there just for the followers.
Right.
Personally, for me, I don't think, even though it would be a good business move, it's not something that's my first thing I want to do. I'd rather hang out with my real friends, even if I don't gain followers.
Yeah, I think that works better that way too, right? Because you guys have a more organic conversation and shit when you're filming.
Yes. And also, I'm pretty lucky that some of my friends are great influencers.
Right.
So, yeah.
There you go. Who's your craziest friend? Is it Jujimufu?
Yes. Yeah.
He gave him a polite delay before saying yes.
Polite delay.
No, he is the craziest in a good sense, though.
Oh, yeah. So when you guys are hanging out, are you ever, have you come up with any ideas that you decided last minute weren't good ideas and didn't film and didn't do? I want to know how too far you guys have gone. Did you do anything that you couldn't put up because it was too dangerous, or because you guys have done everything?
Yeah, I think they've done the most dangerous things by themselves. One time they just set the whole garage on fire to do some video, and even tell me that was dangerous. And but with me, I don't think we ever done anything too crazy. I think 2 years ago I was on the roof doing curls or something, but we don't do too crazy stuff. Yeah, but we just did
roof on fire.
Yeah, we just did an 8-hour arm workout like Rich Piana did.
I saw that.
We actually did the whole thing.
Were you drinking the shakes and everything?
I did all the shakes. I gained 6 pounds that day. I never lost it.
I gotta go, guys. I gotta start a workout. I'll see you guys in 8 hours.
Yeah. I remember doing that 8-hour arm workout because that's out of an old Muscle Mag, right? And I remember doing the 8-hour arm workout. Yeah, way back in the early '90s when I was in high school. I went there on a Saturday and I did the 8-hour arm workout. I remember doing that, man.
It's not his idea.
No, it came from Muscle Mag, but Rich brought it back. Yeah, Rich brought it back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like an old '90s thing. Yeah, yeah. He said he loved it, so it was just funny. It was just funny.
So Matt Duval did it, I guess. It was Muscle Tech, right?
Oh yeah, they might have because it was Muscle Mag, right? So
yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, okay. I guess everybody did it.
yeah, yeah.
Huh. All right, I thought Rich was original.
You guys, you guys. I remember when you ate like 30 cheeseburgers and did arms.
Oh, with Mike Johnson?
Oh man, that was crazy. You and Mike, and you're throwing up in the garbage.
Yeah. He did throw up. That's funny.
He did throw up. What, you brought cheeseburgers into the gym, or you ate them?
Well, they were like eating, he was putting a cheeseburger in his mouth while he was curling.
Yes. So the goal was like, we're gonna eat X amount of burgers, which equals to X amount of calories. So I said, like, the idea was like, if I eat 4,000 calories in a workout, I'm gonna be anabolic. So it was just a stupid idea. We were just eating between every it was funny. Yeah,
it was a great video. What's the mindset now? If we want to go back to like the hardcore stuff, the bodybuilding, what's the mindset for you now after what you did in Toronto, where you just like blew so many people's doors off, and everyone was like, "Holy shit, Antoine is back," and then you had the injury. You must feel like you just want to get out of the gate, like, because you were really revved up for that next show and you got hurt. You must be just anxious to get on stage. Yes,
that's why I'm planning to go on stage in the earlier shows, like maybe Arnold South America, and then there's a new show called the St. Louis Pro, and then there's Indy. So there's like 4 or 5 shows in a row there, and I don't want to wait for Toronto. I want to go back right into it. And right this morning I was 310 pounds, so I think I'm getting near a good peak off season, because last year before cutting down I was 305 in the morning at my heaviest. But sometimes I reached 305, then I kind of stayed there, but my body composition was changing. So by the end of the off season I had a better 305 than the beginning. So right now I think I'm 310. I might go up a little heavier. I'm gonna probably stay there, and then I'll be able to cut down. So I'd like to do a show in April.
No, are you going to win a show? Because after Toronto, everyone started saying you could win a show.
Well, the thing is, like, how much more muscle do you think I need to win a show?
Well, I don't know.
I was 260 shredded last time.
Yeah, it was awesome. Look, man, like,
So I think I could. I mean, if I'm 265 shredded on stage.
Well, plus I think guys don't recognize either. Like, when you have a structure like yours and you're 265, you can stand next to someone else who's the same weight and they look smaller. Between your structure is so just strong.
Yeah,
it's
the
like
waist.
You have bird bones. Like, you're a big ass dude, but you got hollow bones because you have so much muscle to be 265. I remember the first time that I saw you in person, I was like, fuck. He's a lot bigger than I thought. Like, I think people get that perception of pictures and things, but when you see someone in person, it really clicks. Like, damn. Yeah. You're talking about seeing someone in a t-shirt, in shorts, and still knowing, like, shit, they have everything.
With calves like this big.
Yeah, I didn't want to say that because I hate him. But
no, man, I thought the same when I saw you at West Coast Iron last time you were out. You came in from the airport, and I was like, holy shit, this is the biggest I have ever seen him. Like, because I've seen you, known you for years and years. I've never seen you over 300 before. And, I mean, I'd love to see you on the Olympia stage, man. I mean, that would just be something else.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal. But like I said, I think I can win. But right now I'm just talking on my ass because I hurt myself last year, this year, and the year before I just got 4th. So far my best placing is 4th. So right now it's just me talking. So I just got to wait until I get traded again and prove it,
So when you guys are there at the Muscle Mansion and at the gym, I know over in Kuwait, they're basically locking those guys in their rooms, and all they're allowed to do is train and eat. And how do you guys balance? Because I can tell, like, for me personally, you send me to a training camp for 3 months for a show. I don't want that. Like, I'm better focused if I can have a bit of a life. Not saying go out and party, but like, I don't want to be across the world from my family and friends and stuff like that. How do you guys approach that there? I mean, what's Dorian got you guys doing?
Yeah, do you have a games night?
Yeah, well, the thing is I think I'm going to say that. I have no proof of that. People might get mad if I say that. But I think Kuwait is great for lazy bodybuilders.
I agree.
Because it's like, if you can't create the best environment by yourself, go there. They're going to create it for you. You're gonna bring your food. They're going to grab you to the gym. They're going to say, don't masturbate. They're going to say, take this, take that, And
why would you tell someone not to? Oh, never mind.
Hey, wait a minute. Back up. What's this? Is this some inside
I want to go home.
Oh, man. I'm out of here.
So for you guys, you're basically, that's just your house, and you guys are just training. You know what I mean?
Pretty much. We live there, and we're always communicate. We have a group chat. We're always communicating. What time we're going to the gym, who's training what. We have the same split, so we can have our training partners. We can train by ourselves if I want, or if I go with at the same time as them at the gym, I can ask for spots. It's like we're just always like a team talking, and then we have the cheat meals Wednesday night and Sunday night. And so we're pretty much on the same schedule. Everybody, we're all doing our little things, but we're on the same schedule.
See,
so I think it's the best
scenario. To know. That's what everyone wanted to know. That's exactly it. Yeah. So you guys are operating as a unit all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're always communicating. Like, I think the people I talk to the most in my life is like all my friends here. And I call my mom every day. That's it. So I call my mom every day, a few times a day, I call my mom. And then I talk with my friends on the WhatsApp. Then we gather at the gym at the same time. And I see them every day.
See, I love that mentality, though, man. Like because you guys, it kind of reminds me in different level, but I always thought back in the day with like Cormier and Flex training together, like you want to beat each other, but you have each other's back. So everyone's elevated because of it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you're making each other better. You want to see each other succeed. But then when everyone's on the Olympia stage, it's like, well, everybody wants to win.
Yeah, that's one day out of the year.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's a good thing. Yeah. It's a good thing to have that, though. Like you want to train with someone that if you were feeling lazy and you walk in the gym and your boy is cranking, you can steal that energy and run with him, and he wants you to.
I think that's why, if you look at that era at Gold's Venice, if you went at 10 a.m., that's when you saw everyone.
Yeah.
And there's a reason they all went at that time. It's because they all went at that time. They wanted to feed off each other.
Yep.
Yeah. And I remember going to Gold's at 10 a.m. and seeing everyone, and it's crazy. And you guys are just going to just feed and grow off everything. Now, I had a question about the crew out there. I had a few questions about the crew. Who eats the most? Who eats the most? Who can eat the most?
Hey, Dorian, who can eat the most of all of us? Yeah. Me? I know, yeah. I'm eating the most right now. But you mean in one sitting or
yeah, one sitting.
Oh, in one sitting. Ooh. Yeah, because Dorian and Noah they have a problem, I think. With food.
They have a problem.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do a video where we're 4 guys and we're all this thing during the day we gotta eat, and the first to lose, tap out loses and stuff. But yeah, okay. But I've never met somebody who likes food as much as Dorian and Noah. Instead of eating this food, it gives them so much pleasure. I'm jealous. It's like the only thing that gives me that much pleasure is pussy, and I can't have it right now.
We got to get him back on the road. Maybe you forgot your name. You can have that whenever you want.
Yeah. You need more.
Right now, I'm trying to reduce as much as possible so I can focus more on my bodybuilding.
Reduce? reduce as much as possible.
I try to reduce, reuse, and recycle myself.
I'm trying to apply the Kuwait principles here in Burlington.
Oh, okay. See if your inner chi gets a little stronger, right?
Oh,
no,
man.
I release the chi every day. I release the chi.
That's awesome.
Focus. Yeah. Does that go on the group chat as well?
No. I talk with them about everything, but I don't have to say it necessarily. But
They just know. It's just knowledge.
No,
they
man,
just know. Yeah. I always express my worries to my friends.
His friends regularly go, too much information.
Oh yeah, like Doran's wife Rachel, she doesn't need to know, but sometimes she's like TMI, she says.
She's pretty good at hanging out with the boys, you know.
Yeah, she's used to it, of course.
Yeah, no, for sure. I wanted to talk. We got to bring it around. I got several training questions, and
okay.
You put up a ton of training videos. A lot of your training is out there. What do you say overall has been the best training strategy for you to add muscle? What are your core principles?
What I've done in the past, or what I know what's best now?
What would you tell someone if they were asking you? Hey, man.
I think high intensity. So you do a
lower volume,
yeah. But the thing is that in my life I didn't always do that. I've done everything, you know. But I think right now, the high intensity is like what I should do, and I try to do that because my instinct wants to do more. But if I really nail the set really good beyond failure, I'm like, okay, let's move to the next exercise. So I think the low volume Dorian Yates style is the best because you just get that angle, annihilate the fucking muscle, and then move on to the next angle. And then you do that like with 5 exercises per body part, like for a big body part. I think you're good. So I think high intensity, and you need a training partner for I love force reps. I think force reps for me is one of the best things, you know, like because you stay right in it. It's like force reps are the best. I'm always asking my friends for force reps.
Right.
Yeah. I don't even think I counted as a set if I didn't add forced reps.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if you're training alone, you do partials or something.
Do you log your
partials?
Numbers?
Yeah. Not anymore, because if I do that, I get pretty strong, right? Mm-hmm. So at some point, it's like if I always want to try to push the pounds or the reps, at some point I don't want to hurt myself.
Right.
So I just pick the weight that I know, because I can make if I put 300 pounds on the bar, make that 20 reps or 12. I decide, but I'm gonna 20 or 12. But if I want to be smart, I'm gonna do slower. I'm gonna do 12. So sometimes I train with the guys. I'm gonna use their weight, but I'm just gonna make it as hard as possible for myself. Like challenge the muscle as much as I can. You know.
Mm-hmm. Right. What you're talking about is how the more experienced you are, the more able you are to use the weight as a tool, and you can do whatever you want with that weight. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I can reach failure pretty quick with a reasonable amount of weight. I don't have to use super heavy. Yeah.
Right. You can make it heavy because of what you're doing.
Yeah, you make yourself fail early. And that's what I try to do. Sometimes I get my set and I'm going to try to fail as early as possible, around 8, and then the force reps.
Right. So, I see this argument all the time when people, like someone will say, oh, progressive resistance is the best way to train, high intensity training. And then someone else will say, well, no, because you shouldn't just train heavier all the time. And the other person, the nuance is lost that it's not just about adding weight. Progressive resistance is also about making something harder.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
you just plug the battery here.
Yeah. But it is funny how pretty much every single guest we've had on here that we've asked about training has said the same thing, Dusty.
Yeah. I hope that the viewers that are watching all of them are doing the math here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that Jake Cutler, he doesn't go past failure.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
In his whole career, he would do moderate to really kind of heavy, high volume, like 3 sets of like 12, non-failure. And look what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I always complain with guys like that, though. I remind guys that you're comparing yourself to someone that's not human. You know what I mean? It's like, I've had that before. Guys will say, well, I've never seen Phil Heath train that heavy. And I'm like, you don't have to.
Well, and also, someone said something to me about Phil Heath the other day. They said, well, Phil Heath never used progressive resistance. And I said, well, I've seen Phil squat 4 plates for 25 reps. He had to progress to get there. He added weight. Every couple months, he'd squat heavier and heavier and heavier until eventually he's doing 405 for sets of 25 reps, and his legs are fucking huge. So even though he never...
You've seen him do that?
Yeah, 4 plates for 25, yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, just pumping them out, too. Like, just bam, bam, bam,
Yeah,
bam.
that's pretty good, actually,
yeah. Yeah. So, he pushed himself. People are missing that point. It's the pushing yourself is the whole key.
All they see is he did 25 reps, and so he could have done 500 pounds or, instead. So what's the point? Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. So what?
I don't like to squat heavy.
Yeah, what don't you do anymore? Have you removed some stuff?
Well, I don't do I used to do lots of drop sets everywhere. Because I just like the pumping game. I don't do that. I do more lower volume. I used to do higher volume. I do lower volume. Right now, I'm not doing deadlifts because of my arm. And there's a few things that I'm not doing as heavy with my arm, but I'm getting back into it. And but yeah, I'm not doing as much deadlift because for some reason, off season, my deadlifts they don't feel as good as when I'm lean.
Right.
It's like my body learned to do it when I'm lean, and then when I'm off season, I'm kind of stuck when I'm in a down position. My back is more round. I can't stick my chest as much, so I don't like to do deadlift as much in the off season. Like rec pulls are fine, but even now there's like a little pain on my left side. So I guess what I'm doing now is that when I'm hurt, I'm actually working around it. I'm not trying to push through it. When I was younger, I was like, I got to do that movement no matter what.
Right.
So now I don't do that anymore. But so there's some things I don't do because of that as much. But in the back, I think I do a little bit more machines now than before. But the reason why is because at Pure Muscle and Fitness, we got the best machines.
Right.
Back
You got
in the
everything.
day, but the machines I had was like cables, pull down and seated cable row, and maybe a chest press. That's why I had for machines when I was younger. So I would do a lot of free weight. But now we got all those crazy machines here. We can hit the muscles and all the angles with different brands. We have like 3 Stanley leg curl. With 3, how many leg curls we have, Dorian? There's
You got 12 total, don't you?
We got 3 lying leg curls, different ones. We got 3 lying leg curls. 1 Hammer strength, 1 Atlantis, 1 Prime with the weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've scoped out everything you got there. I've looked at all the pictures. I know all the brands. You got all the best pieces. Yeah.
You need to
Prime
come
is
now.
crazy.
Well, I think maybe I'll come to a Mutant on a Mission at that gym. If Dorian will have me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
What's your thoughts about the amateur bodybuilding scene? And how the argument between the old school, the people saying, "Oh, guys don't get as conditioned now," and that whole argument. What do you weigh in on that? When you look at the bodybuilders coming up, and the amateurs versus the pros. Do you think that's nonsense?
Well, look, I think the nationals this year was not as a big caliber as the years before. And then I was like, are the amateurs not as good? But then I went to Romania and I see the Romanian amateurs. I was like, what the fuck? Those guys were good. So I guess it just depends the year and where you are. But I think overall, there's a lot of, and we got all the different classes now also. Because back in the day, you only had bodybuilding. So you had so many people in bodybuilding pushing hard for bodybuilding. So you had lots of good bodybuilders.
Well, remember
all those. Yeah.
Remember those years that we did the supers? There's like 30 plus super heavies.
I know.
30.
Now there's 10.
That was crazy.
Now there's now what is there, 8 or 10?
There's like 6 of them.
Yeah.
Was there 6? I think there was 6 supers this year, right? It was like 5 guys, 6 guys. Yeah, exactly. Dorian said like back when you did it, it was 25 guys. Now there's like 6 guys.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that you're right about the other categories. I think especially with super heavies, I think what you get is you get the taller bodybuilders, and they might be really good. They might have great shape and structure, but maybe they're only stage weight like 225 or something. So they make the decision to go classic instead of putting on 25 pounds of muscle to be 250 on stage. That's just, I think classic has hurt
back in the day
a lot.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, all the classes kind of diluted the classes. I just need to find a plug for the battery here. Just a second.
Right.
Oh, I found one. There we go.
Perfect.
All right.
Are you training guys? You're taking clients, right? You work with guys, don't you?
Online, yes. So I work alongside Team HD training. So you go on teamhdtraining.com, and myself, Cody, right here. Say hi, Cody.
Hey.
We're trainers on the Team HD, and it's all under the guidance of Dorian Hamilton. So Dorian Hamilton is like the head coach, and there's me, Cody. There's Justin Huey. There's Alicia, training right. There's Erika, which is Justin's wife. There's maybe I'm forgetting some of them, but yeah, we're a big team of trainers working under teamhdtraining.com. So anybody interested, they can go there. They can choose whoever they want. And yeah, we do off-season training. We do lifestyle. We do the contest preparation and all that stuff.
Nice. How busy does that keep you? Like, are you taking on a lot of people, or?
Yeah, I think I have like maybe 6-7 clients right now. And
okay.
All of them are like just off-season right now, so they don't check in as much as a prep person.
Mm-hmm. Right.
In prep, I had like one guy in prep, and just one guy in prep takes a lot of your time. So if you have like 5, like I don't know how the top trainers do when they have like 200, like James Ayat from Team Atlas. He's like, how does he do that? Like, how does he do like all that at the same time? He's like multitasking or something. He's pretty good at this.
Well, I think when you talk about helping a bodybuilder the way that you would, it would be pretty hands-on. I think Dusty and I know exactly what you mean when you say, you don't understand how someone could have 200 people prepping, and it would just be a completely different style of coaching. Yeah.
Well, I think what James does is that he has 2 girls with him, Jennifer Dory and Angeline. They work for him, so all the little questions, they take care of that, and then they work as a team. So it's not just him.
Yeah.
But he's doing great though. He's like, I don't know how he does it. Every show he's wearing a pro card. It's like, I think he has the record for the most pro cards.
Yeah, and he must have 200 bikini girls. Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. What Dusty had some more stuff to ask you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess one of the main things that a lot of people really are jamming on with us right now is how are you going about putting on the size you're doing? Because I'm sure you get plenty of these too. If you say, ask me something, everybody wants to know about the cycle. We all know that that's not the secret. Break it down for people. When you went from, surgery and trying to get into full swing of off season, what's a day of eating look like for you?
At first, what we do is that we always have like around 6 ounces of a protein portion, except the more fatty meats, we have like 7 to 8 ounces. And I try to get 6 solid meals a day.
Right.
So right now I have 6 solid meals a day. I have a pre-workout, 50 grams of carbs, post-workout, 50 grams of carbs with EAs. So I got 100 grams of carbs there. Mm-hmm. But what I find is that if you wake up too late, you're not going to be able to eat all your meals before you go to bed. So you try to eat your meals as early as possible, and then you try to eat at least twice during the day. You eat a meal after the other meal, only 90 minutes. You don't wait 2 hours, 3 hours. You wait 90 minutes, and then that saves time so you can eat your meal. And once you get that down, you go from 250 grams of rice to 300. And then you go from 300 to 350. So right now, I have 2 meals at 400, and I have 3 at 350, and I have the cream rice in the morning. And then I don't add liquid fats to it. Only butter when I cooked. And I have ground beef for fats, meal 5. I got salmon, meal 6. I got 2 eggs in the morning for my fat. And I got some pineapple for fruit. I do add some fruit, and my trick to get my meals down is still on my diet, but I use a cup of apple juice almost with every meal to just wash it down. So I do the first speed fast bite. You bite fast. Right. You take the apple juice, swallow. You just take a little sip, just so it covers, makes it moist, so you can swallow it like pills.
Right.
So do that super fast until your meal is gone.
You know what's funny is that's actually like great advice, because I know you get it too. Guys reach out all the time and they say, how do you eat when you're not hungry? And my answer is always, well, you just fucking have to. This is actually a better advice because you're actually giving them an angle to get it done.
Dude, just take it like pills. Yeah. I thought you were going to say that you blended it up with apple juice and drank it. That's what I thought you were going to say.
No. I just do the switch. Yeah.
We're coming up on the end of the hour, so we really appreciate having you on, man. It's cool. We're fans of your physique for sure. And, we got a little soft spot for the crazy Canadians too. So, but Dev, I'll be seeing you in the future pretty soon, man. I think we're going to run into each other. It won't be long.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this 2020 is going to be a great year for Canadians because ideally, I think it's possible. It would be great. Really good qualifiers for the O. I qualify for the O. Quinton might be able to qualify for the O. Ian Valliant qualifies for the O. So it would be like 4 open guys at the Olympia.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. It's going to be a great show. So I would love for all the Canadians to be able to qualify like that, and show the world that there's some real Canadian beef up north. Hey, for sure, man. Thanks for coming on, and I'll see you soon, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. See you guys. Bye.
There we go. Antoine. That's crazy out there.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it feels like to me what Dorian's creating is actually awesome, because I feel like not that it's necessary, and I think it's kind of cool that Antoine kind of put that out there too, is if you can't create your own environment, you're in trouble, I guess is the best way to put it, because we're not all getting invites to Kuwait. Some of us, like myself, even if I was a top guy and you said, cool, come over here and lock yourself in the gym with us, I'd say absolutely not. It's just I don't function that way, but I don't need to. I think that's the big thing, is a lot of us can just crank through. But if you are struggling with getting it done, it really comes down to organization. You know what I mean? It's really that simple. Is if it's a priority, you find a way. I mean, the basic gems that I think some people are going to miss that he just gave away are huge. Like, as dumb as it sounds, wake up early enough to eat your food. It doesn't sound like much, but I push that all the time when guys are like, I get a questionnaire and it says, during the week I wake up at 6, on the weekend like noon.
Right.
I'm like, well, you lost 6 hours.
Yeah. That's 3 meals or 2 meals at least. Yeah.
So to me, it's like, it's not that you got to live like a monk, but you got to use your brain, because even if you now turn around and stay up 6 hours later that night, 2 things happen. Okay, sure, you'll get your meals in, but what happens then on Sunday night? When do you go to bed, and when do you wake up the next day? So how much sleep do you sacrifice doing that? To me,
schedule. It's the routine.
Lock in a schedule. I mean, I literally eat at the same time every single day. It's cool to have, if you're somebody who likes to sleep, add an hour, that's all good, but be mindful of your goals, because you want to make sure that that's the priority. You know what I mean?
And then also when he said, get your second meal in 90 minutes later, because now you're up 2 meals.
Yep.
Like when I always, one of my favorite quotes was Evan Centopani said, guys are always saying they're 20 minutes late for a meal. Why is no one ever 20 minutes early? right?
It's so true. It's so true. Plus, you got to factor in, like, depending on how you are with training. I like to eat 2 hours before I train, not an hour.
Right.
Well, if I train for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and drive home, that's a 4-hour gap between meals. So I better be ahead of schedule before that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or, exactly. Or bring the meal to the gym, or it better be ready waiting for me at home so we can knock it down. You know, I mean, there's just, it all comes back to organization. You know how long you're going to be places. I tell my clients, too, when they're leaving the house, if you think you only need one meal when you leave, take 2.
Yeah.
They're in a cooler. You got an ice thing. If you don't eat it, bring it home. But you don't want to be stuck out on the road and go, oh, shit, I'm not going to make it home for another 3 hours. It's time to eat. And now here's my excuse for eating shit. Or if you're like me and you're cheap and you don't want to waste the money eating out, it's like, I don't really want to spend $17 for a huge order of chicken and rice that I can make at home for $3.
Yeah, I know.
I have a real issue with that. I only like to eat out food that I can't make at home. Like,
right.
You know, if someone makes sushi, that makes sense to me. I can't make sushi, or I won't, or whatever you want to say. But you're not really going to catch me out too often ordering chicken and rice.
Right. I know what you mean. There are some teriyaki places I make an exception for, but
yeah, me too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So how's everything else been going for you?
It's been really good, man. I'm gaining weight again, which is outstanding. Okay. So I'm not as heavy as I had hoped to be before this week, but things are all in the up and up. Like, you know, it's basic things that you lose when you start to get back to healthy, where I wake up hungry. Right. Whereas before I would wake up and I'm like, man, I have to eat, but I'm not hungry. I'll wake up, like my stomach wakes me up, like you need to go eat, you know. So now I'm back to eating a meal. So I do my heaviest fat meal right before bed. So it's like eat the meal, clean the dish, put it away, go to sleep every single night, and that seems to help. Whereas for a while there, man, I could have not eaten for 6 hours and went to bed, like, you know. So it's funny to have at this stage of my career to kind of be back to this phase where I'm excited that eating 6 meals is not a problem. Weight's going up, strength's going up, you know. I mean, I got to blame it all on Harvey, man. He came around and boom, I started eating.
Well, he's got to eat, so maybe that helped with the schedule.
Well, you got to understand, though, since I've had him, he's added 50% body mass. So, you know, I feel a little behind because he was 2 pounds when I got him, and he's 3 now, and I'm like, man, if I could just put on 50%, I'd be awesome at like
50% body mass. 50%. Yeah, I know. It's like when, you know, your friends talk about their kids growing. It's like, oh yeah, he's doubled in body weight this year, and it's like, holy shit, what's going on?
I know another guy that did that, Rami. But anyways.
Yeah. It's definitely tells you the power of genes, right? When the genes kick in to grow, man, it's nothing that can stop them.
But that's the thing, though, and it's what's cool is it does track the same as adults when you're growing as it does kids. When you're eating and growing, you're sleeping more. Like, you know, I can nap for a little longer now. It's like a baby. You know how when if you got friends that have kids, they'll tell you like, oh crap, my kid's sleeping a lot. It means I'm gonna need to be buying shoes soon and pants because they know. Right. You know, the food's starting to come in, but they're sleeping late, and it's like, oh, this is about to get expensive. Yeah. So, but I'm looking forward to coming up there, man. It's gonna be I come up tomorrow, and I'm going. I've got my food. Matt is delivering my food to the airport.
Okay.
So I'm gonna come straight out of customs, grab my food, go to the hotel. I'll probably eat a meal in the car ride to the hotel, so I can go straight to West Coast Iron from the hotel once I drop my stuff off.
What are you training tomorrow?
I have to figure out what they're allowing me to train or what they want me to train on Wednesday and Thursday, and then I'll back out of it. So I'm going to find out today and then text you and see if you'll jump in there. But I don't think I'm going to have a shortage of people that are willing to jump in on that workout if you ditch me.
No. So I actually had a bit of a rough week. I kind of hurt my back on hack squats a couple days ago.
How?
And I was doing a rest pause set. And I was on the very last round of the rest pause.
So you were smoked.
And I did 2 reps, and I went down for the third one, and I went a little too deep. Mm-hmm. And I rolled my hips a little bit. And it was just a tiny bit. Like, I remember as I did it, I thought, oh, that was a deep rep. Like, right. I can't go any deeper than that. And then I drove, and when I drove, it went.
Yeah.
And Yeah, and I got to the top of the rep and racked it, and I immediately knew I was done for the day. Like that, I got immediately took my breath away, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And then I went and I hung. I did some decompression stuff, and I laid it, and I tried to move around and do some light stretching, and I gunned it, and I iced it, and I did everything, and it's a lot better. Like I'm not in pain, but I feel really weak.
Right. No, I hear you.
I feel like I have no core strength.
Yeah, I hate stuff like that when you're grateful that it's hurt versus injured, which we've discussed already. But hurt doesn't mean you want to go getting under a hack squat tomorrow either. No. Which I totally get. I've had two, I call them tweaks, where I was fortunate enough. Last week we were doing RDLs, and I'm coming up on a 6 rep with 585, and I just felt something. So I just let it go. I mean, it was funny. I mean, it was like we've talked about before, older, more experienced. I just drop it, stand up, and I'm like, all right, I can finish all my curling movements, but there'll be no more loading my back today. Got done at the gym. I call my PT guy, and I said, hey, what time can you get me in today? And thankfully his waiting list is only till January right now. So it's not too hard for me to get in today. But he got me right in, and I love it because when you have a good PT, they do some strength testing. They can then tell you exactly what you did, do their work, do the strength testing again. And I was like, okay. And he goes, all right, you're all set. And I was like, is there any restrictions? He said, it's going to hurt because I just needled it. He goes, but you can go do whatever you want. And it's like,
you didn't tear anything.
Knowing that is a game changer, though, because it was sore for a few days afterwards. And if you don't know that, you're going to baby it. And he told me, he's like, there's absolutely nothing you can't do. It's not going to slip out. Nothing's going to happen. I mean, it can, but it'll be coincidence, not because of this. Yeah. So knowing that is just, if there's any advantage that I could really put besides the fact they can fix it, it's walking out of the office knowing like, all right, you're good. Because like when I did my deal with the lad on the rack deads, I just went straight back after him, and I'm like, all right, fine. He said we could do this again. We're gonna find out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm extra irritated, and I want to do another rest pause set on the hacks now. Like,
but you want to make sure it's at the right time, right?
Yeah. I just, I want to make sure it's not too soon.
Yeah, I'm always cautious with compounds like that. Like, I actually don't rest pause things like hack squats because. Just because, for me in particular, hack squat is like my movement. So the weight is really, really heavy. And I factor that in. I'm like,
Dusty, let's be honest. I'm rest pausing the hack because I'm trying to get some overload with only 4 or 5 plates. You, however, are doing a straight set of 15 reps with 8 or 9 plates.
Right.
So don't worry about adding extra. That set's hard enough.
Right. I was pretty proud, though, that Manny the other day, I put up, I've been doing a lot of supersetting, like, movement.
Oh.
Wait, there you go. Bueller, you're back. That was trippy. Are we good?
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right. There was a moment.
There was a moment.
It was frightening. Not the kind of moment I usually like to have. But
here we go.
We're good.
Are we good? Yeah, Scott will text me if we're not good.
I can still see him on the little screen here. Yeah. So I think we're solid. But yeah, no, it's learning like Antoine was talking about, finding ways to make things harder. So I've been going straight from heavy adductors to my hacks with like a 6 count negative. And at the end of a workout, so now you're at 6, 7 plates, and it's a brutal 12 reps. You know what I mean?
Okay.
See, now you and I are on the same page.
With the 6 count negative, I'm down to 3 plates at this point.
Well, the problem is, though, too, is I'll put that in a video, like it's a 6 count negative, and there's never fails. Someone jumps on there. That wasn't 6 seconds. I'm like, do you know how long 6 seconds is?
Right.
I didn't say 6 seconds. I said 6 count.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah. I mean, 6 seconds would be like a 12 count. I don't think I could go that slow with no weight, just trying to focus on going that fucking slow.
Right. You get 3 reps.
Yeah.
No, I know. It's making things harder, so I put up a post about, you saw my side lateral post?
Yeah.
And there were some guys arguing on there. And it's the usual thing where they're not actually disagreeing, but it's the semantics of it that make them argue. You know, they think they're on different sides of it, but it's just that I hate seeing that. It's like how when Meadows and I were talking about how, you know, people say I did 4 sets of 10 and some go, well, that was only 2 sets of 10. And it's like, well, okay, these weren't to failure, but I still count them. You know, it's all semantics. Yep. And you know, the one guy was saying, oh, you know, this is bullshit. You know, Phil Heath doesn't use progressive resistance, progressive overload, you know? And then that's what I mentioned with Antoine I was like, well, yeah, but he had to add weight at some point.
Yeah, he didn't walk in the gym the first time and do 405 for 25 and just stay with that.
Yeah, he might not have log booked. He might not have written his reps down. But you can bet that when he got in a machine and he went, oh, I just got 15 reps, I should go heavier next time.
Yeah.
Right. There was progressively overloading was a principle that he might not have been thinking of and using the term, but it's still, you know, it's still what he was doing. You know,
it's like when you go back to high school and you think about, you know, the bigger, faster, stronger kind of routine and stuff. It's like last time I got 3 sets of 3 with this, so I'm going to go up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, the whole idea of even those programs were, you know, I don't know. Did you ever see that program?
No, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
So that one basically was like one of your weeks would be 3 sets of 3. 1 week would be, you know, 5 sets of 5. One would be 10, 8, 6. Then one would be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right. So but then you'd go back just like anything, and now you're back to 3 sets of 3, and you're trying to up that weight. You know what I mean? So it's funny, like you said, that all of these different programs are really the same thing. You know, it's just a matter of the weight or the reps, I should say. You know, I've had so many people go, well, why did you write my routine rest pause to 25 and you wrote this guy's to 15? And I'm like, well, he's 26 and you're 42.
Right.
I'm just protecting you.
Yeah,
you know, like I don't rest pause as heavy as I used to. Now it's, you know, 20 to 25 is kind of where I'm like, and part of that is age and part of that is strength. I'm like, you know, the other factor is if I'm using a machine, like I can't put enough weight on it to do 15. I mean, that means my first attempt is 8.
Right.
Just, you know, I can get 15 with the stack. You know what I mean? So it's getting guys to kind of process that mindset, you know, or the same reason I don't use a lot of dumbbells. Well, it's really hard for me to progressively overload a dumbbell movement because I can only go up in 5-pound increments. And at some point, that's going to be too much for one side. I know what you mean. You know what I mean?
Right. And so one thing, when I trained with Meadows a couple weeks ago, we did a rest pause on the lying leg curl.
Yep.
And I was just like, you know how sometimes when you train with somebody, you just use whatever weights they use?
Yeah.
That's how we trained. Like Meadows, me, and my training partner. My training partner is a little stronger than me on legs now because he's growing like a weed, like everyone who trains with me for any length of time. So he's growing, his legs are, he's getting real strong. So he's stronger than me and John, but we all just use the same weights and we all hit failure with those weights because of how we used them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I remember John went first on the rest pause and I was like, oh, he went a little light.
Right.
But then I watched how he did his reps. He was doing like stop and goes. Real explosive with a slow negative.
Yep.
Bam. And then slow negative. And I was like, so we just used whatever weights. Like we went over to the hack and he only put a couple plates on it. And I was like, and then I realized what he was doing. He was doing a cluster set of doom with 20 seconds rest between rounds and like super slow negatives. And then so I hopped in and just did the same thing with the same weight. So you should be able to do that to an extent, like how Antoine was talking about, you know, just training with other guys and using their weights.
Yeah, I think the only factor that changes there a little bit, and I know you don't disagree, is experience. For some guys, it's going to be very hard to do that because you don't really, you know, I get it often when I send someone a new routine. You know, they don't know where to start, they don't know how much to use, and I don't want to be an asshole coach, but the answer is it doesn't really matter. Like, you know, you'll find it, and if anything, I prefer you guess too light than too heavy. You know, I don't want you going for 12 reps and getting 6, but I'm cool if you get 15. Right. So when you walk into the gym like that, that's why the logbook helps, is because a lot of these guys, you need a guider. You know, And the same reason you need to make sure you're understanding your rep speed. Like you said, you watch his rep speed and the fact he was doing stop and goes and stuff like that. I was like, oh, well, of course he's using 2 plates.
Yeah.
Whereas if John was just busting him out, he might have been using 6 or whatever, Right. I haven't trained with John, but years ago he wrote me a couple routines, and I loved it because it was so different. And he wrote them very detailed, exactly he wanted everything done.
Yeah.
And man, for a few weeks, man, like when you do, one of my favorite things he taught me was drop sets on a lying leg curl, and then finishing on your very last drop once you're done with 25 partials off the bottom. It's like a 4-inch movement.
Yeah.
Destroyed. I mean, I used to love filming them because it was like involuntary shaking of your entire body. Like my video guy would laugh because he could see me like trying to move the weight 4 inches and shaking all over the place.
Yeah. No, it's I really like those. You just do something different,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And but then you take that back to your workouts, and it just adds to the toolbox. And it's I saw a great post the other day. I think it was Brett Contreras put it up, and he was like, things that kind of matter. And he's like, they're great to sprinkle in. And it was like, rest, pause, drop sets, this, all blah, 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 tempo training, negative, focusing on the eccentrics, blah, 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 all this stuff. And then it was things you should do a lot of. Right. And it was like 3 things.
Yeah. All you need.
Push yourself, into the high effort reps. Second was try to progress with your weights, and third was like be consistent or something like that. It was just
real basic. that fills the void on any type of training style you could possibly choose.
Yeah. It's just, but it is funny, and that's also like we were saying with Antoine. We've had on. Just think of the guys we've had on. Ian, JP, Luke, Antoine, Jose.
Yep.
Like who else we had on?
And they're all had Chris. I mean, even Chris had the same answers.
Chris has the same answer. Hypertrophy coach.
Yep.
Joe said same thing. They were all really into high intensity, super hard training where the focus isn't on the number of sets you're doing.
Yeah. Well, I think that what Antoine said today was really key too. Is it's not how he's always trained, but if I were to come along and be listening to this as a newbie, that would be exactly how I train. Because I think the big thing that people understand is, so I made this mistake, so you don't have to.
Right.
And you're still going to, because we're bodybuilders, and typically, in my opinion, if you're a successful person in general, in the back of your head, there's always just work harder. And so you're battling that mindset all the time, even when I mean, there's been many times in my career where I've looked back and been like, man, I was training 6 days a week for 6 weeks, breaking every rule there is. It's not really shocking I didn't have that great of a gain in that blast.
Right.
I mean, the best gains in my life, and granted, I understand there's different times, but I was training 3 days a week. I was training 3 days a week. It took 2 days to finish the full body, so it's the DC 2-way split. And the third day was going back to the first day. I grew like crazy because all it was, all right, go destroy the muscle. Now go sleep and rest 4 days a week.
Yeah.
Sleep, rest, eat, and let that body recover. Now I wouldn't, what's funny is I wouldn't suggest that now to someone like me, because now I finally reached the point of, all right, well, I need to bring up this one muscle. Back then, that was Dante's big push to me. He's like, nothing on you is big enough.
Yeah.
So just let it go. Like, as good as your best body part is, it sucks. So just keep going.
Just keep training everything.
If it blows out, that's fine. Then eventually we'll think about that. But, I mean, how often do you have guys reach out to you and say that? Al, I feel like my arms are a little bit too big. And you're like, your arms are 17 inches.
Yeah, nothing's too big.
Like they're big for your body as it is right now. But let's let them roll to 20 and we'll talk about it then,
Yeah. No, it's let them roll to 20. Yeah, exactly. I know one of the things that I have had an unusual number of incidents with is having to tell clients that they need to take days off.
Yep.
That was never a question before.
Yeah.
Like up until just a few years ago, I think it's the no days off hashtagging and the Insta celebrities saying like, I train every day and all the ultra motivational stuff. It's awesome, but I think that's been like a weird glitch in our software where the no days off thing has come about. And I mean, there's always going to be like a guy like, like David Goggins, who's like, I run 5 miles every morning, like those guys, ultra motivational. But okay, yeah, but we're just talking about adding muscle to your body. That's all we're doing here. We're not trying to change the world.
I think you got to factor that in too. Like, I'm good friends with Mike Rashid, and he always pushes, he overtrains, he does everything.
Right.
And I love Mike, but what I don't think people understand is I've watched Mike bench 405 for like 2 reps for like 3 years. And Mike has been the same size. And in fact, for a little while there, when he was really hammering the vegan, he was smaller than he had been.
Yeah, and he was boxing too, right?
Yeah. So it's like, and again, the goals changed, but I think people, they look at him. I mean, number one, he's got a huge following. He's strong. He looks great. All these things. And he's saying, I eat once a day and I overtrain. But they're not saying, I'm like, yeah, cool. But he's been doing that same thing for years. Ask him to do 3 reps.
Right.
He can't. You know what I mean? Ask him how much size he's put on. And now understand, that's not his goal. So it's not a hammering of him. But when you're following a guy for motivation, understand that your goal and his goal might not line up.
Right.
So let him motivate you, but don't forget that what he's doing won't help you.
Well, it's like I follow Jocko Willnick's, right? He's like that ex military guy that Rogan had on, and he's like super motivating. And he gets up at 4 every morning and does his kettlebell workout and his cardio and all that stuff, right?
Right.
I follow him for motivation, but I understand that none of his goals are the same as mine.
Right.
Right. So I don't copy anything he does, but it's just the listening to what he's saying that I can take and kind of map over my goals.
Yeah, well, his software is he has a plan that he executes consistently that matches his goals. So you do the same thing, but your plan is totally different. With
a focus on his main core thing is discipline equals freedom.
Right, which is awesome. It's true.
Yeah, and so like when you get that in your head and you let it rattle around a little bit, it starts to like affect decisions you make.
Oh, for sure.
And like I noticed it, and it's which is funny. It's like I downloaded a piece of software from him, which is how our brains work. But when you actually recognize it happened, it's like kind of weird. Right. But it's in there now, and I can't get rid of it.
Yeah, nor do you want to.
right, exactly. I'll try to, hopefully it just does good things in there.
But that's the key, though, is you recognize what you're supposed to take away from him, and I think that's where guys are missing. Is like you said, the team no days off. I think what you should be taking away from that is work, effort, execution, consistency. But your consistency might be 3 days off a week. I've found for me, and you've known me for years and years and years, and now with Mutant, been with me. Like one of my biggest goals every day is to sleep. Like I will literally wake up. I've got myself in a system. I go to sleep and I sleep for about 3 hours now, which is great for me. And I'll wake up. And I used to just get up because I was awake. Now I will allow myself to take Harvey out, come in the house and go back to sleep. And even if I don't sleep, I have to stay there for 2 more hours.
Right.
And I don't get on my phone.
Yeah, sleep has never come easy for you.
Yeah, so I just wait, but it's funny, but that is a type of it's become a discipline because I'm awake and my brain says just get up, and I'm like, for what? It's 2 a.m. I mean, I could text Ron, he's not in bed yet, but
no, those days are gone. Those days are over with. I'm a different man now.
Like now, it's funny, but the point I'm trying to make is that's what you want to look at is where do you need to put that teaching. Because it's never going to be go train hard in the gym for me. Like that's second nature. But I think it was Evan Centopani years ago would force himself. It's easy to nap when you're dieting because you're tired. He was really big on finding a way to rest in the off season when you kind of don't feel like you need a nap.
Right.
And that really rang true to me. I was like, man, that's true. Like when I'm dieting, I can nap anytime. I can close my eyes in the car and for 10 minutes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're eating, it's hard. So, but if you just go lay down, there's no two ways about it. Jay Cutler, the list of people who made sleep a huge part of their process, I think they would credit a lot of their size to it. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. And I've noticed it myself too. You know, there'd be strips of time where I'll be struggling to maintain my strength in the gym, and I'm like, man, those dumbbells felt heavy. And then I think, man, I'm getting 6 hours of sleep a night for like weeks. I need to up that. And I know that sounds like a lot to you.
Yeah, but it's every person to person. I mean,
but I'm like I'm a 7 or 8 hour person. When I get 7 to 8 hours on a consistent basis, I notice things change.
Right.
Like just how I generally feel, how it's like everything just goes better.
Yeah, everything in your mood should be different even at that point.
Yeah, and so I've been really consistent with my sleep the last little while. I've been trying to go to bed a little earlier, and I noticed that I now wake up 5 minutes before my alarm every single day.
I love that. That's when you know you're clicked, man. You're locked in.
Yeah, and I grab my phone and I look, and it's 5 minutes till my alarm goes off, and I'm like, oh fuck, I'll just get up.
Yeah, don't go back to sleep though, because if not, it's gonna be really hard to wake up in 5 minutes.
Yeah. So it's kind of neat because I didn't do that. I mean, all the years I was working in the office at Mutant, I was there for 5 years, and I struggled to go to bed a little bit the whole time.
Yeah, I remember when we even go on the road, I would laugh because I would go up and try to go to sleep right away because I needed as much time as possible to find a way to get 3 or 4 hours in. Right? And it is funny too because people realize it because they'll see the time of day or you're posting things, and I've had people say like, "Oh, am I sleeping too much?" I'm like, "Oh, this isn't on purpose. Don't do this. This is not advice."
Right, I'm broken. There's things wrong with me. You don't even know the beginning.
But because of the industry and the like you said, the team no sleep and shit, people are like, "Oh, he's hardcore." I'm like, "No, I'm pissed off."
Right. I have a disorder.
If I could sleep 9 hours, motherfucker, I would sleep.
No, for sure. What did you do this weekend? We got a long weekend up here in Canada right now, and it's actually Remembrance Day. So it's like our Memorial Day, I guess you would call it. So it's our Remembrance Day today. So we're thinking about the troops and a lot of people's grandfathers and all that sort of stuff. And
yours fell on our Veterans Day, which is the same.
Okay, so it's Veterans
Day. Memorial Day. It's the same deal. But yeah, it's this is terrible to admit, but when you don't work somewhere, I never know about these things until Instagram tells me. I'm like, oh, Memorial Day, cool. We should do a sale. Right. But this weekend I had this is my last big weekend of competition. So I had 4 guys on stage this weekend, 3 locally, one in I don't even know where the hell he competes anymore. Florida, I think. He's gonna kill me. He listens to the show too. He's like, "Motherfucker, I was in Kentucky."
All I know is the time zone of the shows.
Yeah, see, all I know is what time. So it was. You'll love this, and clients will get a kick out of this. So one of my newer clients, I said, "What time do you want to wake up Saturday? I'll set an alarm." And he was like, "Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get up at 5:45 in the morning. I don't want to make you wake up." And I was like, "Well, my first alarm goes off at 2:30." For the first guy competing on the East Coast. And I'm very fortunate that I have no one overseas this weekend. So actually, this is pretty awesome. So I had a 2:30, a 4, a 5:15, and a 5:45 alarm set because I like them. I want the pictures to be there when I wake up so they're not waiting. But I did have an awesome weekend because all 4 of my guys are some of my hardest workers. You
had 2 in the same show as well, too, right?
3 in the same class.
3 in the same class.
3 in the same class, and we went 1, 2, and 4th place in that class.
Oh, nice! That's good.
That's a good time. And the guy who took second in the bodybuilding light heavyweight won the classic physique. So I felt like things balanced out when I made sure that everybody got their win.
No, that's cool, man.
It was fun for sure, and I definitely enjoy that. I had some issues with the way the shows were here for a while, so I stopped coming. And oftentimes I wasn't even putting athletes in shows in Arizona. I would send them to California instead. But they've made some changes here, and it was nice to be back at the show because people were like, "Oh man, I haven't seen you at a show in forever." And I said, "Yeah, I got some athletes in it." And one guy was sitting next to me, and I told him, I said, "Yeah, I've got a couple bodybuilders." And one of my guys walks out and he goes, "He's with you?" I was like, "Yeah." And then the next guy comes out, he goes, him too, huh? I was like, yeah. He goes, you can always tell.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
You know, because at the local level, you don't have as many people that come out without skin on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I said, I was fortunate enough that all my guys were workhorses. So if it was, eat sawdust and rice cakes, they'd handle it. You know what I mean? So it's amazing how good the right athlete makes you look.
Right. Well, I was going to bring something up because I'm sure they'll get a kick out of it. But you've got a guy and I've got a guy that are training together now in Saskatoon. You got Travis that you've been helping, and of course Morgan that I've been helping for years and years. And Morgan said they're having just the most ridiculous workouts right now.
Freaking complete workhorses. I mean, when I started with Travis, it took me about a week to know. I was like, he's crazy. I love him.
Yeah. No, Morgan proved himself a million times over because it's been like, I don't know, 6 years or something. Well, he's been helping before, man. Oh, but yeah, just hardcore. So they're in the prime time. They're both young and bendy with nothing that hurts yet.
And aren't they opening a gym or something? I saw.
Well, Morgan built a gym. They're just in the process of opening now. So when we were getting a bunch of equipment for West Coast out of a Gold's that closed, I thought, shit, I should tell Morgan about all this hammer strength the guy's got because he might, he was kind of talking about it. So I said, hey, I think I can get rid of all this hammer strength for you. My buddy might take it.
Right.
And I just hooked him up and put it on his truck. Boom.
That's awesome. So he's got a bunch of yellow equipment in his gym then.
Yeah. And then he's added a bunch of other stuff as well. Yeah.
Since I know what gym it came from, I already know.
Yeah. So I know I got to go visit there. I got to go visit, max out muscle. Yeah. And it would be funny if we could get you up there too one of these days. So
that'd be awesome. No, and those two dudes, I mean, again, back to it, like they're just workers. You know what I mean? Like work is all they know, whether it's in the gym, whether it's in life, and those are the people that shine, man. I mean, I remember when Travis was prepping, he's a farmer.
Right.
So he's telling me like his day, and I'm thinking, and no complaints, just this is what a day looks like. And you're like, you want to forward that to your other clients that are bitching about like, I took too much extra credit hours. I'm like, this motherfucker was out all day. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know what hardcore is because I ain't ever done shit like that.
No, it's I got to go out there and train, and now I'm worried. I'm like, I have to take my broke ass out there and train with those guys. There's gonna be some trouble. You
have to prime yourself with anything for the joints and for the.
I hope I have enough previous street cred to kind of carry me through the whole visit. You know what I mean? Like just riding on old accomplishments behind me.
I'd be nervous with your personality. You're gonna get there and all the juices are gonna click again. Like, ooh.
Yeah.
You better hurry home and train at that crappy Gold's gym down the street from you for a week afterwards. We'll numb that shit right back out.
Numb that, shut me right down, get me right down to civilian level.
That estrogen will shoot back up and everything will be fine.
It'll be fine. Oh, man. No, I appreciate it. My weekend, I did want to touch on one thing before we go.
Yes.
Emily and I sat down and watched Sausage Party.
That's a great one.
Oh, I can't believe I missed that.
How have you done that? That was years ago.
It's a few years ago, but I just missed it. And I was like, as soon as it was over, I was like, I got to tell Dusty I saw this.
Now I got to watch it again because I haven't seen it in years.
It's my plea to anyone who hasn't seen Sausage Party. I knew it was going to be ridiculous, and I'm not really a cartoon guy, so I was like, it's probably funny, right? And then I was like, made myself watch it. And I was pretty impressed, man. They took it to another level. So it's just sometimes you miss a movie, Like I had a friend of mine just tell me the other day that he saw a Tarantino chat that one time.
Right.
And he said he just saw Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, oh, my God, I can't believe I fucking missed that movie.
He's almost mad at himself.
He felt like he missed something. Like he felt really bad. Like
a moment in history is gone
because he considers himself like a movie guy.
Right.
He's like, I just didn't realize what I missed. Like he just thought it was awesome. So it was one of those things. I was watching this and I was like, holy shit! No one really told me to watch this.
Yeah, well, because the same reason, because it was a cartoon, I think a lot of people kind of passed it by. If that had somehow been not a cartoon, you would have seen it. Now, they couldn't have not made it a cartoon, but no, it's a classic for sure.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I thought
everyone that downloads that now, Ron gets a percentage of the money,
right?
Because they're on there right now on their phones, like sausage.
Right.
And be careful letting your husband see that you were Googling sausage party. Anyways.
Yeah, you might want to clear that up. You might want to clear up what you were Googling. No, I thought we like to talk about what we did on the weekend and that sort of stuff. And I thought if we're ever going to give a movie review, this is the movie I must urge everyone to see.
Very similar to our last movie review, which was The Joker.
Right. Yes, exactly. Both very
not quite the same.
Very culturally important, both of them.
Awesome, man. Good stuff.
Okay. Well, I'll let you go. We got a good question and answer episode next week. We're going to do a lot of Coach's Corner and stuff. And we have 2 guests booked coming up the next few weeks, and it's going to be really good. They're going to be exciting.
Stoked for both. When you sent them through, since you've been out there just hammering the streets, I got both those messages. I'm like, we got some good episodes.
Well, the one guy we've been trying to get, but he can't do Mondays, right?
Yep.
Mondays are too busy for him. So we just happen to have a day that we can't do Monday also.
Yep.
So we thought, well,
we were going to tell him we changed our entire schedule for him because he's that important.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, Dusty, thanks, man. And everyone, thanks for watching again. We really get a lot out of your sharing the show and telling your friends and posting the links and all that stuff that you all like to do. So we appreciate that. Remember the audio version on Advices Radio and, of course, on Think Big Bodybuilding Media for the YouTube. I'll see you next week, Dusty.
No doubt.
Remember, everybody, it's just bodybuilding.